I'd like to talk to you today about a data handling project that I've been working on over the weekend. Now, I'd already recently, just last week actually, built this thing, which is basically a means of changing the tuning of your strings on your guitar and then seeing, as a result of that, what overtone pitches you'll get. So this is all very well. This will help you navigate the fretboard. Well, I say that independently of frets. It will help you navigate the guitar in terms of where your harmonics are. A first harmonic is an open string. Second one's 12 frets, 7, 5, 4, 3, etc. And they get smaller and smaller and more marginal. And as you get up to the top end here, they become extremely difficult to play properly, particularly if they're on very high or very low strings, I find. So these are overtone numbers. If you can get scales out of them on that are fairly evenly matched, because the closer in number they are, usually the more, I mean, it varies between strings as well, but typically they'll be more evenly matched if they're similar kind of overtone numbers. So for instance, if you had a scale that had a second harmonic and 11, 12 and 13, you're like, well, what is the point in that? You'd need to boost the volume of these so much that by the time you got onto this, you'd have it would it just wouldn't work. So there are all these different ways you can have of creating different scales out of harmonics. So this is a thing called a pitch gamut. And what this shows is all of these different notes in scientific pitch notation. Open strings, this is to indicate that the sixth string is where you'd find that in this tuning, etc, etc. So you'll see that as you increase your pitches, you get gradually more and more different options here. And this looks great. You'd think, wow, I'd be able to find all kinds of scales to play in here. This is awesome. But actually you'll see some really big discrepancies and bounces around in the minimum overtone number that you can use for them. So this was looking like a hassle, and I thought, well, you know what, it's like I decided I wanted to find, for instance, a harmonic major scale in this. How would I do it? I could get a piece of paper and I could slide a little slip along and then see where I've got a match, and then see what kinds of overtone numbers I get out of them. But that would be a huge pain in the ass. So instead of doing that, I've built this tool to do this. Now, actually, I'm going to delete the one that I made earlier, just to show you that it will actually run. So otherwise, it will duplicate this name because it's the same tuning. This is the name of the tuning, and this is the name of the scale that I'm running it against. So this is how we go. We're going to run scale against a gamut. It takes a while to run. I'm not going to lie, it's not a very efficient piece of code, but I'm not a computer scientist. This is a hobby for me. But this is what it will produce. So the numbers in bold at the bottom here indicate the highest and lowest overtone in your octave. So that one's wide discrepancies, but as I say, you might be able to find some versions of these lower overtones that are more evenly matched. But you're trying to match it up to 11. That's always going to be tricky. So I'm just going to freeze the pane here. So you'll see as you move, there we go. This one I really like. So you'll see the maximum overtone number you've got here is a 6, which is equivalent to a 3rd fret harmonic. Well, that's perfect. An E5 I can pick on the A string at a much lower overtone, I think another 5 overtone. So you can go through and gradually make adjustments and change some of these and bring them more into range. You can never make these numbers smaller, but you can make these numbers bigger, and that will even out the volume. So I've been using going to use this tool as a means of discovering ways of playing scales like this one. I didn't quite get that right. E, F, G, sharp, A, B, C, D sharp, and E. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Well, I hope you found this interesting. Thank you for your time.